I am sitting here in this amazing piece of earth by nature and contemplating on how pure and pristine and untouched nature is. And when you're by nature, you cannot help but reflect on how elegant it is, not just goddamn beautiful, but because it is principled. You see, nature lives by laws. It doesn't step out of its lane. It doesn't hoard for the sake of hoarding. It doesn't dominate for the sake of domination. It doesn't conquer maliciously based on artificial constructs of race and religion and creed and wealth and status. It doesn't. Nature lives in pure interdependence. It gives, it receives. It takes, it kills, it lives. It expands, it contracts. It lives in cause and effect. It lives in harmony, in rhythm. And by contrast, look at us humans. We think we are the Homo sapiens. We are the smart ones, the clever ones. But are we truly? We who have so egregiously stepped out of our lane, we who fight mercilessly, conquer, voraciously, destroy with no reason, not to survive like nature does, but to dominate. This urge to dominate, my friends, is not natural. It is pure, insane, delusional, maniacal ego, and we need to begin to call it what it is. This isn't true power. This is insanity. This human ego, you see, was created as a false self. We all built it in childhood. This is why I teach conscious parenting with a voracious passion, because we created this false self, you see, because our true self was never seen. We cannot blame our parents. Their true self was not seen. And so, because our essence, our ordinariness was never honored, was never celebrated, and we were told that who it is we are was not good enough, we needed to be, we needed to achieve, we needed to possess, we needed to become. So, of course, we became a false self, a self that chased validation, a self that needed to win, to prove, to achieve. The power we did not feel inside as children, we tried to find it on the outside. And this, my dear friends, is how the tyrant and the follower is born. Not as monsters, but as children. Children who only wanted ever to be seen, who only wanted to feel good enough and powerful. But because they didn't, they learned to take power, to dominate, to possess, to oppress. And the followers? They also learned this in childhood. They also were unseen for their sovereign power. They too were raised in authoritarian homes, conditioned to obey, to stay small. So now the follower is used to being tyrannized. They were raised to put their heads in the sand. They were told this is normal. We were told this is normal. We are told this is civilization. And yet when I come here far away from civilization and observe the locals and observe nature, I wonder, who are the civilized ones? I think where I came from, the Western imperialistic world, which is everywhere, it's not just in the West, the world of the collective ego, the insane delusional world that is out there, that is not normal. And we need to realize that. We need to step up and call it for what it is. That isn't power. That isn't normal. That is insanity. We need to change how each one of us relates to power. Because when we realize what true inner power is, it's not something you can chase out there. You cannot call yourself better than any other person because of race or religion or wealth or status. That is chasing false power. When we try to hurt each other to gain power, that is false power. When we try to conquer each other, that is false power. Anytime we are okay with the innocent being hurt, we have lost touch with our true inner power. Anytime we are okay watching children and women and innocent men being murdered mercilessly, we have lost something inside ourselves. It is never okay, no matter the justification. You see, any conquering and domination on the outside is really a cry for true power on the inside. You see, true power that these locals have, that nature has, that the species underwater have, doing their own thing, not fucking around with anyone beyond their lane. That power is what we all yearn for. We're craving that because that power is unmatchable. But it's quiet, you see. It's not glamorous. It is rooted within. It is sourced from within. But that is what we are all craving as humans. But we just don't know where to find it because we were conditioned to believe it's out there. It isn't out there. It's only inside us. So let us stop this madness. We need to stop raising tyrants or becoming their victims. We need to return to our own nature. Each one of us now has to reparent the child within. We need to begin to source our power from here. We cannot wait for the next generation of parents to do this. We cannot wait for the people out there to wake up. It is incumbent on each one of us to wake up right now and be the light. Each one of us needs to shine the light. And how do we do it? By entering the power within. When you enter the power within, you will put an end to this madness on the outside. Your inner power is sovereign, it is abundant, it is plentiful, and it is right here. And when we each connect to this inner power within, we will stop mercilessly seeking it on the outside.